Submitting to the shepherd, submission. We're talking about the really fun and exciting, on the edge of my seat, cannot wait to submit. We're talking about this ideology of the good shepherd, the Lord my shepherd, the Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. We're breaking down this Greek word poem, which gives us this imagery of God looking at the whole package as he relates to our life. If you're ready, I'm ready. Welcome back to Love Note. We're going to continue along this deep dive in this word study of this Greek word poem, which is for shepherd, as it relates to one of the most famous passages in the Bible, which is Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd. And we're slowly kind of trudging our way through these deep waters, trying to draw up the good nutrients and to break it down in a way that's going to apply to our day-to-day life. If you can hang out to the end of the video with us, we're going to give us some takeaways, some practical applications, some tools, some equipment that we can go in motion and go towards that destiny that God's written for us. Psalm says that he's numbered your days. So this is a desire that God, the heartbeat of God, for you to be a shepherd of his people. It starts out as us receiving the good shepherd, and then us submitting to the leadership of the good shepherd, and then us shepherding those that are in our trust. And it starts first with our family, then it goes to the workplace, the local church, so on and so forth. But before we get into the way we shepherd and lead our people, we're going to continue to talk about submitting to the Lord, our shepherd. This poem, this whole picture application of God, seeing where we're at, where our character's at, what the frame of our spiritual integrity can handle, the weights of the world, and as it pertains to him releasing the yeses or the nos on our day-to-day journey. So we ended that last video talking about this word submission. And this submission, this word submission, is not simple obedience, it's us willfully obeying. So what this means is I have an earnest desire in my heart to obey God's no, to be okay with a no. We've got this thing called performance-based identity that comes from the world. It comes from our pre-salvation days, our BC days, our before Christ days. And what this does is it gives us this expectation that comes from the world. It doesn't come from God. That tells us that our worth is in what we can do, how we can perform, what we possess, what we bring to the table. And what this does is it puts our heart posture towards seeing our identity or seeing our true self as being the one that's always getting the yeses, that's always getting the green lights, that's always getting released into the next thing, the next season, the next car, the next house, whatever it is. But what we all find out too soon is when we get to that next house or that next car and that next season, we still have variables to deal with. Jesus calls it the wind and the rain. And he says that the wind and the rain fell upon the wise builder and the foolish builder. So the wind and the rain fell on them both. What does this say, church? It says that we're going to have wind and rain no matter what we're doing. Whether we're building with wisdom, which is with Jesus, or whether we're building in our own strength, which is foolishness. And what he's going to say is, listen, if you're building in wisdom, you're going to learn to appreciate the no. Learn to accept the no. Learn to submit and get under the no. Now, how can I submit and get under the no? Whenever I know the heart of the shepherd. When I accept the fact that he's looking for my overall picture and he's judging my character in the altar of preparation. That was a couple videos ago. Go back and check that out in the archive. But we're trying to look at this whole picture, and we see that Jesus has made some very good decisions on our behalf in past seasons. So we're going to have faith in him getting us out of this current season with the same way by obeying and submitting to what he's done in previous seasons. We all have history in God, so we're pulling down on this history and we're getting under the authority of the no. And then when we learn how to get under that no more times, the more frequent, the more touches of no that we can get underneath, we start seeing fruit from the no. Put that in the chat. There's fruit with the no. The no brings fruit. And so this no produces beautiful fruit because once we receive that no and we submit to that no, we now walk through what we thought we were ready for in that season and see that if we would have gotten that yes, something horrible would have happened. And maybe it's not just a black and white, a night and day horrible thing that would have taken place, but maybe it's a subtle thing that would have led into something bigger. It's different for all of us, but the point is we have enough maturity, we have enough orientation to the heart of God that we can see why he gave us the no. And even if we still maybe aren't too excited about it, we learn to be grateful for the no. There's so much power in the word no. Fathers and mothers, we want to be okay with giving the word no to our children. Our children need to hear the word no often because what it does is it tears down this false god of entitlement to where they feel that they deserve the yes. A lot of times the lack of yes is really the protection of the heart of the Father, seeing something around the corner that we don't have eyes to see yet. Why don't we have eyes to see? Because we aren't around that corner yet. And so this word submission, we're going to land the plane right here. And then this next talk, we're going to finally start looking at the way this relates to us leading God's people. But this word submission is willful obedience. I willfully get under the yes, or I willfully get under the no. And this is something that I do with joy in my heart, filled with love and adoration, because I know the heart of the shepherd, and it gives us the authority and the power or grace or favor to get under the no. How many of y'all know that we need grace to get under the no? But here's the last truth that I'm going to release to us today before we close out. If my head is too big to do the small things, then my heart is too small to do the big things. If I can't get under the authority that's in my life, then I'll never be over the people that God wants me to be over. If you can't get under what God's trying to put over you in this season, then you'll never be able to get over what God is trying to put under you. Y'all be blessed.